Hey guys, and welcome to my Fit to Ride channel. Today we're going to be looking at back pump or back pain and how your saddle position can affect this. Ultimately, back pain or back pump is all part of the sport, but there are a couple of things that you can do to help improve this, and one of that is the setup of your bike, but also looking at your posture, your mobility, and also the strengthening of your lower back, lower abdominals, and your pelvic floor. So here I'm demoing with the watt bike, but the same principles apply to your mountain bike. Firstly, with the saddle position, what you tend to find is people have their saddle way too far back. And what that causes is for you to overextend your arms, so your hips are back, and you end up rounding like this. And on top of this, you also have your saddle a little bit too high. So first things first, move that saddle forward just a little bit so you're not overreaching for the handlebars. And with the saddle, some people also have the saddle raised up, and what that does is it shortens the extension in the hip so that we end up flexing more of the back. So by knocking the saddle down very slightly, it's going to put us into a more neutral position here, whereas what happens is when the saddle is up, it ends up putting our back into a flexion. So showing these principles while on the bike, while the saddle is further back, we're overextending, which will cause us to round the back. And on top of that, if our saddle is lifting up, it's pushing our pelvis back like this. Whereas if we move that saddle forward and we angle the saddle very slightly down, it's going to help us bring back our tailbone, giving us a more neutral position with our pelvis. What you tend to find is when you end up bending the back like this, and this leg is coming up towards the body, it's putting an incredible amount of pressure and tension all through the lower back. Obviously, if our pelvis is in more of a neutral position, there's less flexion through the hip, which is also less flexion through the back. While you're out on the trail, you can also do a stretch, which will help alleviate some of those back problems. And all you're going to do is go nice and wide on the handlebars, sit the hips down and back, slight bend at the knees, drop the chest down, pull that pelvis back, tailbone up, not pulling it under, pulling it back, dropping that chest, and then back up. And you're going to repeat that a couple of times just to help reverse what you've done on the back by bending too much. So adjusting the saddle is just one part of helping your back pump or your back pain while on the bike. You can adjust a few other things on the bike, including your handlebars and stem, but also increasing your mobility and strength will help massively. If you need help with this, I do have mountain bike programs, 12-week programs for £30 on my website, and those are available as a downloadable PDF with loads of videos to help you. As for the video, if you enjoyed it, comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll see you on the trail.